Hello, thank you for being here. I'm Bomin Choi, a researcher at KISA, and I'm excited to have the chance to introduce our dataset project. Today, my topic is creating AI dataset for cybersecurity. I'll be sharing our experience, philosophy, and practical application in the process of our dataset project. Here's the outline of my presentation. I begin by introducing our data set, then I explore practical use case, and finally I wrap up. Throughout this session, my goal is to emphasize the high quality of our data set and encourage potential collaboration among all of you. Before we get started, allow me to introduce myself. I work at the Cybersecurity Big Data Center at KISA and have contributed to R&D projects like malware profiling, cyber threat intelligence. And I have been passionately leading this dataset project from 2021 until now. And my company, KISA is the South Korea government agency responsible for cybersecurity, similar to the USA CISA. We are the sole organization in the South Korea that operates KISA, overseeing controls in the private sector. Now let's get into the main presentation. Corona, digital transformation, global war, inflation, and natural disaster. So which one of these isn't related to cyber attacks? As you may already know, many societal issues and new technologies continue to emerge daily, leading to continued rise in cyber threats. Especially what of AI? To hackers, generative AI can appear as a very appealing tool. It allows hackers to work more efficiently, reducing the time they need to create malware and spam phishing messages. ChatGPT, to ethical concerns, doesn't support the creation of malware, but clever hackers can modify their codes to obtain the malicious software that's in just seconds. Furthermore, there are even generative AIs designed for hacking purposes, such as GPT, Cloud GPT, will raise concerns among us. In the past, hackers probably developed their hacking tools staying up all night to create new and alternative ways to avoid detection and circumvent the security measures. But now, with the hackers, can just be wearing suits like any of us here and at an office. This is because the time we live in is an era where anyone can just fit some requirements to AI to easily create malwares in the less than 10 seconds without much technical knowledge. There are defenders and hackers. The key question is who takes the lead in the harnessing AI first. Our conclusion is that we defenders should take the lead. To achieve this, we realized the importance of high-quality data set that accelerate AI model. So it is served as the driving motivation for our project. Next, we'll talk about the AI data set. What a security AI data set is, imagine it as a special kind of data that helps the AI understand specific things. It's like teaching AI. This data includes what we want AI to learn and labels that help AI learn. These labels combine from our analysis of threat data as IOCs we've gathered. And it's a combination of AI labels and features about threat. In the next slide, we will discuss the scope of the data set we are creating. As you can see in this slide, many companies use this type of IT security infrastructure. We are aware of this, and our project is specifically designed to create a data set that can be used with various existing cybersecurity solutions. Moreover, threat profiling, vulnerable call, security monitoring and operation, TTP simulation. There are many data sets I would like to about, but today we focus on the malware and threat profiling data set for the VB conference. To build our malware and threat profiling data set, we started by talking to KISA researchers. Here is what they told us. Lately, there have been various cyber attacks, but not everyone has the same experience or knowledge. So it can be lead to inconstant or incomplete analysis. To solve this problem, we thought about using important background information as data to teach AI model for initial analysis. This way, we can make sure our analysis is constant and doesn't miss important things. With this idea in mind, we upgraded the existing data set. Next, let's talk about how we made our data set. First, our main goal was to make sure it's reliable and accurate. So we started collecting reports about recent security accidents. From these reports, we found some important clues called CIDOCs. Then we made our data set more bigger by finding more clues through the CIDOCs. We also got some actual samples and looked at them closely to find out some more features. So by analyzing the files we collected, we checked both how they are consistent and how they acted. And then we created metadata using the feature extracted in this way. And about labeling threat types. You may be aware that the threat type for a single malware can vary depending on the analysis perspective. Therefore, determining the threat type for specific malware requires careful considerations. In this approach, we made efforts in order to create the objectivity, consistency, and accuracy in our labeling process. First, for the constants, we established a clear naming rule. This rule included indicating file type, threat type, and family information. In here, to define threat type, we refer to the 21 type listed in the sticks. To determine the most appropriate threat type label, we analyzed the threat types found in the names of 60 antivirus detections. We selected the threat type mentioned mostly frequently, similar to majority rule. This labeling process involved utilizing text mining methods. This is the result of the data set we constructed. For the IOC, we have collected the entropy levels for IPs, host names, and URLs were low, so we generated metadata focused on relevant malwares. This screen shows the data set stored in our big data center's storage. You can see IOC's metadata. Next chapter, I go over the strengths of our data set. On the slide, you can see a comparison of our data set with existing other AI malware data set. We referenced this data set during our construction process. However, we recognize that there are limitations in training AI models to effectively address complex real-world threats, which involve various factors. As a result, we realized the need for improving and expanding existing data set. Next, I will go into more details about the strengths of our data set. First is the size of the data set, including various file types in the real world. In the real world, malware comes out just executable file, but in various formats. As a result, to better reflect the current real-world scenario, we included 24 different file types, including exe, DLL, APK, and DOC, HTML, and so on. Second is the diversity of our AI labels. AI model doesn't have a predetermined purpose. It can be designed and trained fully based on the user's intended purpose. Furthermore, the categorization and management of malware can differ among security companies. So we have constructed our data set by labeling with various classification approaches. It allows the user to freely choose and combine labels according to AI model design requirements. Malware analysis go beyond just identify if a file is malicious. They also identify threat type, threat vector, connections to social issues, and more. Therefore, when designing the AI model, it's crucial to consider these multifaceted aspects. By utilizing our data set, you can develop AI models that cybersecurity mimic human analyses. You have access to a range of labels, including threat type, threat vectors, and social issues, and shown on this slide. Third, I would like to emphasize the features that come in various types in our metadata. The extracted features include basic things such as function byte, entropy, histogram, as well as dynamic analysis things that require a significant amount of time to be extracted. And the composition of our AI dataset is shown in the following screen. By default, all IOCs are provided as metadata and sticks format, and for malware, the original file were collected and provided. And this is an example of a metadata file I have mentioned briefly earlier. It consists of approximately 130 extracted features, and it includes basic info as well as dynamic analysis feature, TTPs, engram, the API, OP code, and so on. Next, let's take a look at the studies. To use our data set effectively, we decide what we want AI to do. A bit like finding hidden problems, similar to exploring an iceberg's hidden part. We aim to spot attackers, understand why they act that way, and stop them. In the past, only skilled researchers did this, but now we want AI with our data set to do it effectively. Why? Because there are too many cyber threats connected to big problems like war, inflation, and disaster, and so on. So it's hard for just a few people to handle them all. In a nutshell, we use AI and our data set to uncover hidden issues, understand the attackers, and respond to a cyber threat effectively, just like skillful human did in the past. Now, let's take a look at our approach. As you already know, malware typically creating through coding, using various attack methods to achieve hackers' goal. These methods are compiled into executable files and deployed on target system. Executable files are usually within assembly language, confirmed use OP code and operand. These codes are extracted through reverse engineering, a process called disassembly. Analysts identify attack methods and threat actors by comparing these features they are gathered. We have termed these features as called DNA. Our aim is to profile even unknown attack groups by training over our AI data set. The slide you see is the process of extracting the code DNA. We carried out this process in collaboration with our partner, the threat intelligence company, Senjrep in Korea, as a member of our dataset construction project team. We disassembled the hash files associated with attack groups like Kimsuki and Lazarus, extracting feature functions from the collected dataset. Finally, we've gathered 22 million code DNA functions for profiling of threat actor and attack techniques. Next, to verify how well our dataset can identify the actual attack groups or attack techniques. After learning from the code DNA, we implemented our AI model and applied it to the security solution of 3 companies, ABC. As shown on the screen, we analyzed the files collected from these 3 companies. This slide shows the information for companies ABC, and highlighting difference in the number of collected files, equipment, and the industries of service customers. Look at the graph, displaying attack groups identification result. We found that the variation in the tendency of more relevant attack groups based on its company's security equipment and service characteristics. Let's take company C as an example. They are different from company A and B because they tested anti-spam solution, and their customers for these solutions are primarily government agency in Korea. Company C was mainly targeted by the Lazarus and TA505 group. These threat actors sent deceptive emails containing hidden malwares, often disguised as job-related materials. They particularly used the method to conceal information within complex documents like technique ID T1012. When we combine all these facts with our AI findings, we see that this result is very meaningful. So, with this result, having confirmed the potential of our approach and our project team decided to have more confidence and more interesting sample for verification. It is a case of a campaign that explored the keywords related to Netflix series Squid Game 2. According to Profitpoint's report, emails with Squid Games in the subject were sent to different email addresses. These emails had Excel attachments and were part of a common spear phishing attack. When someone opened the file and ran the macro, it led to download the ELF file and injecting into specific process. Our KISA also received multiple reports about this. This sample shows the malware starting with A5D2, and there were also malware starting with 9 to 96. This sample had different hash value, but the two samples were identified and verified by AI model that they are 100 identical. When comparing the source code of the two samples on the screen, they are different, but they are sharing significant similarities. While we can go into further detail today due to time constraints, it's essential to stress that these malicious codes resemble well-known groups like Dridex and TA505. This shows that even without extensive knowledge or professional expertise, our dataset and our technology enable us to easily find the specific attack groups and related malware. For the conclusion of today's presentation, we are expanding this dataset project with the vision of achieving cyber realization through intellectualization or levels of a cybersecurity system based on our dataset. In other words, our dataset project aims to decrease human workload by enhancing security efficiency. This allows us to concentrate human resources on the tasks like establishing security policing, decision-making, and advanced analysis where AI may not excel. In responding to security incidents, quick decision-making by security personnel is crucial. They need accurate and timely information to make the right choice. KISA has been sharing cybersecurity data to private sector since 2014. Initially, we shared merely IOC data for detecting and blocking. But now we extended our insight and scope to share data that can also utilize for AI or big data analysis. Lastly, the resource we need the most in cybersecurity is dataset. These datasets will be great help in responding to ever-evolving threats and technological achievement. and they will improve their through collective cooperation and interest. There are no national boundaries when it comes to data sets, so I look forward to working with all you. I would like to thank you everyone here today for participation. You can forward any question to my email address, and I would be happy to answer to them. Thank you.